Right now at 6, a man is under arrest tonight charged with the shooting death of a 12-year-old boy. All of this going down outside a bodega. Plus, dueling demonstrations on the Upper West Side in the wake of the Upper West Side stabbing that has a man facing hate crime charges who some are blaming. And keep your eye on the sky as we get ready for our work week. Storms are coming back into the picture with a vengeance. But we begin with developing news. That 12-year-old boy apparently caught in the crossfire in the Bronx. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Arthur Chien. The suspect is in police custody tonight. Fox 5's Kendall Green is live in the Mount Eden section of the Bronx with the latest on this. Good evening, Kendall.
Hey, good evening, Arthur. This child was just outside of a bodega on his bike at the moment when his life was cut short by gun violence. And police say it stemmed from some type of fight around 5 p.m. Yesterday. And let's get you some surveillance video of what appears to be the last moments of that 12-year-old boy's life. Now, this video was taken from the corner of Walton Avenue and Elliott Place here in the Mount Eden section of the Bronx. And in it, you can see a group of men fighting in the streets. And the victim, Jacob Freitas, at the time is seen standing over his bike along the sidewalk just feet from the fight moments after it broke out. Now, we've frozen the video out of respect to the victim's family. That's before you see one of the men, a 45-year-old, pulling out a gun. He opens fire, and Jacob Freitas, again, a 12-year-old boy, is hit. Now, he runs inside the deli, grasping his shoulder where he'd just been shot before collapsing to the ground. Now, our cameras are rolling this afternoon at the 44th precinct, and this is where police escorted the accused shooter, 45-year-old William Ferrer. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch shared on social media that Jacob was just an innocent bystander, and police made the arrest this morning outside of his home here in the Bronx. And in response, advocates from the United Bodegas of America shared their frustration with how this shooting, like this, not only impact their workers and small businesses, but leave families left in mourning. Take a listen.
Jacob's parents are mourning their little boy's death today. And the United Bodegas of America is very concerned about every bodega owner that's out there. Because as you saw in the videos that we sent you, very graphic ones, this kid went into the bodega to buy a ball, walks out, sees a fight. Then he gets shot. He runs back into the bodega because he lives in the area and he's a regular in that bodega seeking refuge. But no, he didn't make it. 12 years old.
Now, among the charges that accused shooter will face, second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, as well as weapons charges. And we've also learned a 34-year-old and 25-year-old were also shot. They're in stable condition, but that's the latest here in the Mount Eden section of the Bronx. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News. I'll send things back to you out there.
All right, Kendall, thank you very much. Meanwhile, the NYPD tonight is looking for two suspects after a deadly road rage incident in Queens. A law enforcement source telling Fox 5 two cars were involved in a crash on the eastbound side of the Belt Parkway near East 21B just after 1 this morning. And according to that source, 4 men, 2 from each car, started fighting. That escalated into at least one of them being beaten with a bat. A 47-year-old suffered severe head trauma and died. A 39-year-old was hurt. The other 2 took off in a Honda Civic. Also developing tonight, tensions flaring on the Upper West Side in the wake of those stabbings, that of an Asian New Yorker and a Jewish New Yorker. Jewish groups demanding action from Mayor Mamdani, and tonight he is responding. Fox 5's Francis Wang is live in the newsroom with details on this tense developing situation. Hi, Francis.
Hey, Arthur. Yeah, just days after the Upper West Side double stabbing, demonstrators gathered near the scene earlier today, blaming the mayor's rhetoric for contributing to what they call a climate of anti-Semitism, a claim the mayor strongly rejects. Speakers criticized the mayor specifically over a video he posted just last Tuesday in which he called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a war criminal. They argued that message, however, contributed to an already tense climate of anti-Semitism right now and pointed to Thursday's double stabbing on the Upper West Side. Prosecutors have charged 51-year-old Raul Morales with attempted murder and assaults as a hate crime after police say he stabbed two men, one Jewish and one Asian. Prosecutors say Morales yelled Allahu Akbar and justice for Islam during the attacks. Mayor Mamdani has repeatedly condemned the violence, but today protesters chanted, quote, "Mamdani has to go," and they called for his removal.
A mayor of the city of New York is supposed to bring our communities together. You, Mamdani, are throwing gasoline on the fire, pitting one community against the other. After that vile video, you placed a target on the back of each and every one of us, including that attack on the West Side.
Across the street, members of an Orthodox Jewish group that opposes the state of Israel held a counter-protest. At times, tensions flared between the two groups. Later in the day, the mayor was asked about the claims against him.
There's no tolerance for anti-Semitism in this city. We have to root out anti-Semitism from across the 5 boroughs, and that's because this is a city that is one that has no room for hate or bigotry of any kind. And when we make criticisms of a nation state or policies, we have to remember that those are criticisms of exactly that. Never of a people, never of a faith.
Tonight, we also have an update on the 2 victims. You may remember we reported the Asian man had to undergo surgery to remove the knife from his back. Meanwhile, the rabbi of the synagogue the Jewish man had just left that Thursday afternoon tells us he has since been released from the hospital. The suspect, meanwhile, will be back in court on Thursday. Arthur?
All right, thank you, Francis. And for the latest on all of our top stories, you can stay up to date using our Fox Local app by downloading it onto your phone. You'll be able to watch all of our live newscasts and breaking news from anywhere you are. And let's take a live look outside right now. It has been a great weekend. It continues into the Sunday night, but humidity is about to enter the chat, and so is the threat of scattered thunderstorms as our work week begins. Meteorologist Audrey Puente is here with the latest on how this is timing out. Hi, Audrey.
Hi. Well, the timing is actually pretty good because we had good weather over the weekend, and now we're going to see some changes as we go into the upcoming week, Arthur. Plenty of sunshine being found across the tri-state area on this Sunday, and that's continuing right here at this hour. We have sunshine in 79 in Central Park. It's 80 degrees out at LaGuardia. 78 and sunny are the conditions being found down towards Atlantic City. We're nice and dry on the radar here. A couple of clouds decorating the sky off in the Hudson Valley as well as northwest New Jersey. We're also getting a couple of showers popping up across north central Pennsylvania. I think that's where they'll stay. We should stay dry for the rest of the evening here across the immediate tri-state area. It's really upstate New York that it's experiencing a couple of pop-up showers at the moment. And tomorrow, you're going to need your umbrella handy if you're going to be anywhere outdoors, especially north and west of the city. We're watching a frontal boundary that's off towards our northwest here, but it's this one that's going to help spark off showers and maybe even some thunderstorms as we move along into Tuesday and into Wednesday here. But for tonight, we're going to stay partly cloudy and dry for the rest of the evening. Our temperatures will be falling to about 70 degrees here in the city, probably some 60s off to the north and west. Our humidity is also going to build up too. You'll feel the difference tomorrow, and our rain chances will be increasing as we go into the next several days. I'll time out those storms for you in the next couple of minutes. Arthur, over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Audrey. Well, a vigil will be held tomorrow for fallen Army Sergeant Angel Sarah Rampersad. The 28-year-old was killed last week during an Iranian attack on a base in Jordan. President Trump attended the dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base when her body was returned last week. Sergeant Rampersad was originally from Trinidad and moved to Ozone Park with her family when she was just 2.5 years old. A community vigil will be held in front of the family's Ozone Park home tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And developing in the war with Iran, the U.S. and Iran have paused strikes on each other, at least for now. But the focus remains on who will control the vital Strait of Hormuz. Correspondent Trey Yinks is in Tel Aviv with more on what could follow.
Sunday marked the second straight day of no U.S. attacks on Iran, after nearly 2 weeks of renewed fighting between the two countries. A temporary peace agreement signed last month was suspended after both sides claimed the other committed violations in the deal. specifically around the critical Strait of Hormuz. Iran says it is also pausing its, quote, retaliatory operation.
Our strategy was fundamentally retaliatory.
While the U.S. has not said why the attacks have stopped, the recent halt comes as President Trump has repeatedly said Iran is ready to come back to the negotiating table. But it could also be just the calm before the storm.
I think the real options they may be preparing now for is boots on the ground to really show the Iranian people that we're moving to the end of this government in Iran.
The Trump administration maintains there is no timetable to getting a peace deal in place, and the U.S. remains firm on opening up the Strait of Hormuz and putting a permanent end to Iran's nuclear enrichment program.
The president has all options on the table, and he is exercising both diplomatic, economic, and military to achieve a very clear strategic aim.
Meanwhile, some Democrats back home remain skeptical on what the president's endgame is.
I don't see a clear strategy, and there's never been a clear strategy. We should never have gotten into this senseless war, and we should end it now.
Iran says it is continuing to work with Oman to ensure the safe passage of vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
New developments tonight out of Germany. Authorities there say police shot and killed a suspect in the Berlin Pride attack that left one person dead and injured 29 others. Abdul Balah was a German citizen with Lebanese roots and allegedly had ties to an extreme Islamic group. Police say the 21-year-old drove a van into a crowd near Berlin's Pride Festival last night, then reportedly stabbed several people. He was eventually tracked down in a Berlin suburb today. That is when he reportedly rushed police with a sharp instrument and was gunned down. He was declared dead at the scene. A naming battle could be brewing here in New York City. What Senator Chuck Schumer says he will be doing if Congress attempts to change the name of Penn Station in honor of President Trump.